Hey, good morning everyone. Wednesday morning, 26th of August, 2020. This morning's devotional has a look at Ephesians chapter 6, verse 18, which reads, "And pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for the saints." Another one which catches a lot of folk is, what is the shortest verse in the Bible? And everyone says Jesus wept. Well, here's another one for you. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 17, which reads, "Pray continually." Today we continue having a look at knowing God's plans. A way to know that you are following God's plans for your life is by being in prayer. Yesterday we had a look at to read the scriptures with intent, to understand the scriptures and to know God's will. We need to take time each day to devote ourselves to the Lord and the plans He has for our lives. We are encouraged in scriptures to pray fervently, to have faith that God not only hears our prayers, but also answers them. However, this does not mean that God will give us everything we want because we have prayed really hard for it. I often use this little example in a service when I ask how many prayed to win the lotto jackpot. Some people will sheepishly put up their hands, while others will look down at the ground. But I know that they did not win. Why? Because they are in the service. The problem with prayer is that it begins all nicely, and halfway through the prayer, it turns into complaining about how unfair life is and how unfair circumstances are. Instead of complaining, rather ask God to show you the plan He has for you in the situation. It's good that we raise our concerns to God because He does care for us. We need to obey the truth. The truth here is Jesus. Another problem is we all claim to love God and Jesus, but very few actually obey either God the Father or Jesus the Son. Jesus tells us very clearly in John chapter 14 verse 15, "If you love me, you will obey what I command." Deuteronomy chapter 28 verses 1 through to verse 14 give us some of the blessings of obedience to God. And further on in the same chapter of Deuteronomy, verses 15 up to verse 68, they give us the warnings of disobedience to God. We have the apostles who, while on trial, told the authorities in no uncertain terms, "We must obey God rather than men." Wow, imagine saying that to a judge, eh? And we find that in Acts chapter 5, verse 29. Being a disciple of Christ then came with its own challenges, and they have not changed. We are still faced with the same challenges. We are to know what is required of us to be obedient to God and to walk in His plan for our lives. We can show obedience to God by immersing ourselves in His Word and keeping our thoughts pure. This means to spend time with reading the Bible and to pray daily, to avoid gossip and all these other nice things that the world says are so juicy and yummy. My dear friends, this is not an in-depth study, but a guideline, and I pray that it will certainly help us as we seek and strive to know God's plans for our lives. May the Lord be with you. May He bless you. May He cause His face to shine upon you and be with you always. Goodbye.